All right, welcome everybody to another Metabolic Monday with your boy, the Metabolic Mentor, coming to you live every Monday, bringing you great information you cannot get anywhere else in the world of functional medicine, aesthetic performance nutrition, all across the nutritional wellness spectrum, cutting the fat between the BS and the truth, coming to you with 18 years of professional experience, both in the medical health world, fitness world, performance world, bringing it all together into really interesting hour of training, education, outcomes, and protocols that you just cannot get anywhere else. We call it the Metabolic Monday Hour. I am Vince Pitstick, functional nutritionist, 18 years, and I want to hear from you. We reward people being loud and proud in the chat. We're giving away lots of product, our brand new GDA Pro, so people that are loud and proud in the chat, going back and forth with me, we will randomly be assigning people products from New Ethics Formulations, the best supplement company on planet Earth. Why do I know? That's because I designed the products, I check the COAs, and I know that it is the same serving and the same ingredients in every serving every single time. I want to hear from you though. Drop in the chat, how crazy was your Monday today? Was it a 10 out of 10? Did you have a crazy Monday? Or was it a low stress Monday? 1 out of 10, super chill. Let me know in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from too. What country, what state, what city? Drop it in the chat. All my people are loading on in. Some of my day ones coming back. I see y'all. I know we were off for a few weeks and we've been dragging the time back a little bit more. You guys seem to like that. So I hope this time works for you after being a busy day at work, home, school, wherever you're at. All right, 7 out of 10. What's going on, Markham? What's up, Cincinnati, Ohio? Awesome so far today. Today is my birthday. Well, Savage Strong Fitness, happy birthday from the MMU team. By the way, I have my amazing staff in the chat. My apprentice Waleed Karat is in the chat. We've also got my MMU team, Cam and others there to answer your questions live. Arizona, Cincinnati, Chicago. My hometown's actually right outside of Chicago. Born in a little small town, farm town called Ottawa, Illinois. You should not know where that's at. What's going on? All right, hello, Miss Indonesia, USA. Happy birthday to you. Hopefully this hour is worth it to you. If you are over in the Indonesia time zone, I'm not sure what time it would be over there. I think that's like producer Malachi, is that like an 18-hour? I think it's 18. I think it's an 18-hour difference. We got clients in every country of the world. I have a hard time keeping track of all the different time zones. All right, what's up, Texas? Candace, hello, hello, hello. All right, everybody. Well, again, strap on in. I've got an amazing session for you today. We're going to be talking about all kinds of topics, giving away lots of awards, and we have a massive announcement at the end. We're going to talk today about things that you may not know in your foods, like oxalates. We're going to talk about gallbladder and why it's actually mistaken. Gallbladder issues are actually detox issues. We're going to talk about using thyroid medication. We're going to talk today about hormone replacement therapy and how you can use small amounts to get a really long way. 6 out of 10. Well, good news. Monday's end. Ashley, I'm going to get to your questions too. I love that question on nasal polyps. It comes back to my argument about unknown autoimmune diseases that now the world is beginning to recognize as autoimmune diseases. So we're going to jump all over the board. I'll also answer any of your questions in the chat. If you're like, hey, Vince, I just want to learn how to build a little bit of muscle and lose a little bit of fat, drop it in the chat. Why don't I get to one real quick? In menopause, been lifting weights, walking, worked with a dietitian, gained found pounds, frustrated. Well, one of the things you should understand about menopause, I want you to think of it actually as an upregulated immunological state or condition. I talked about it a little bit before. You might want to learn about studies published on what's called IMID, immune-mediated inflammatory diseases. When the immune system gets overactive when you go into menopause. Okay, and the reason for that is T and B cells, which are responsible for 80% of your inflammation production. So you think your food, what's your opinion on metabolic testing, such as the PNOE? It's hit and miss. I've used it before. I'm not a big fan, to be honest with you. So interesting fact, right? So T and B cell lymphocytes are part of the adaptive immune system. It's the part that your body learns, a little different than your like neutrophils or something that's part of your innate immune system. Your innate immune system comes complete with the car when you were born. Your adaptive immune system you learn over time, right? Your adaptive immune system is what causes most of your inflammation, everybody. So if I was a bucket from head to toe, if my bucket was 100%, about 80% of that inflammation that my body creates comes from my immune system. Can you talk about the flush and if you can purchase it by yourself? I've got a major announcement. Black Sweet Raspberry, coming to you really, really quick here. We've taken my proprietary technology of the flush and we've finally given it to the world in a new app experience, so you can just walk through and get coach support, all the deal. I bought the flush detox kit a couple months ago, but I have no protocol, so I can't get the, can I get the protocol, please? Yeah, we can, Waleed, why don't you get her in the Vital app so she can get her protocol. I have lupus. You know what? Go up real quick. We're gonna kick this off. You guys are being loud in the chat. I like this. Go up, go up, go up. We're gonna go ahead and Waleed, go up a little bit further. You know what? Right there. We'll go back to oh girl. Go down, go down, go down. I tell you what, Joanna, message Waleed on here. Or Waleed, get to her. Joanna, I'm gonna actually double down on your flush detox experience. I want you to use our new GDA Max Pro. It is one of the most advanced products for mastering glucose, partitioning nutrients into the cell, increasing your energy, speeding up fat metabolism, and making sure that you don't gain as much fat with carbs. It will help insulin right when you eat, which will also release ketones so you burn more fat when you eat. It is the best product I have ever made. I've been getting so many, like we sold 700 in 2 weeks. And the results coming from glucose monitors and keto monitors have been incredible. You want, I'm gonna add that to your flush. Go ahead and get that from Waleed. See, I start giving away products right away. Right off the bat, we're giving away products. I love it when you guys are active in the chat. If I don't get to your question, Waleed or Cam or someone from the MMU team will. All right, so to come back to that question though, go back up a little bit. I forget what she was talking about. There it is. No, go up a little bit further. Go up a little bit further. Up a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further, right there. So Yothrop, this is very common. So understand, 80% of your inflammation in your body is made by your immune system. It's not by what you eat. It's not by what you think, although all those things do that. Your immune system drives most of the inflammation in your body. And you'll know that if you ever get sick, which causes you have upregulated immune function, so you don't get the cold or flu, but yet you feel like you're tired and like you're about to get the flu all the time. Sorry, everybody, we had a internet connection there issue. But you feel hot because when your estrogen goes to zero, you have your T and B cells have estrogen receptor sites. And estrogen activates a regulator of your immune system called T regulatory cells. T regulatory cells are also what get lowered in birth control. So many females that use really low estrogen-based birth controls, or maybe go to something like a Depo shot, or they go low estrogen and they diet too much on it, they will activate parts of their gene sequences that upregulate immunologic function. They reduce T regulatory cells. So now you've got nothing to inhibit the activity of your immune system in response to daily stressors, chemicals, stimulants, certain foods. And so your immune system gets really wound up. That creates a whole lot of oxidative stress and inflammation inside of the body. You begin to swell up in menopause. All of your symptoms get worse. Your joints hurt. You sleep worse. More brain fog, right? And you're not sure why. And they just call it menopause. It's because of your effing immune system, okay? And so that's why also when you go to lose weight, you can't. And the reason is your mitochondria that produce energy inside of your body, they are a nuclear reactor. So if you know anything about a nuclear reactor, I grew up next to one in Clinton, Illinois. And they've got this big lake called Clinton Lake. And at Clinton Lake, you can go in the water in Clinton Lake and you can go hang out by the exit water for the nuclear reactor. That water there is like a sauna. Like, so the whole lake could be cold, but when you get in right there, it is hot. It's like a hot tub. And the reason is that's the coolant exit for all the water. Now, if you didn't run coolant, like water, through the nuclear reactor, then the reactor core would get too hot. When it gets too hot, there's a governor inside of the nuclear reactor that would slow down energy production. So if your mitochondria get too hot, and heat is represented as oxidative stress. People don't really understand what oxidative stress is. They understand what inflammation is. I want you to think of oxidative stress as heat. So if you get too much oxidative stress buildup in your body, it heats or overheats your mitochondria. Therefore, when they go to produce energy, they are also trying to produce heat. And so they can't, or they will damage themselves. So then they produce less energy. So that's a big reason why women in menopause have a lower BMR. They have less energy production. Also, their endocrine system is slower because of this whole process. So they don't have the hormones driving energy production. And so that's why you can't lose weight. So if a woman in menopause tries to do the same nutritional training strategies as a woman who's still menstruating, she's in for a big surprise. That's why if you want to check out our OID program or programs at Nutrition Dynamic, our higher levels of membership come with a program guarantee. We don't sell programs, we sell outcomes. We will guarantee you success within 12 weeks, or we will work with you for free till we do. But that's, you got to buy the Priority Select program or the Mentor Select program. We guarantee you results. No one's going to guarantee people in menopause results. We will, because we understand what the problem is. The problem isn't menopause. The problem is your immune system and your sex hormones. And then you get control of that, and now you can lose weight again. We prove it every time. All right, moving on. I got so many, let's talk more about giveaways, but before I do that, real quick, medical warning, this is not medical advice. I am not a doctor. I don't treat, prevent, cure any diseases. Please see a functional practitioner or someone at our Vital Med team or another doctor before utilizing any of this information. Okay, good. We get that out of the way. All right, let's get down to the business. So I told you guys last time, the Hybrid Health Summit, killer. We had all the most amazing presenters, entrepreneurs, coaches, personal trainers, nutritionists, dietitians, all in one amazing 3-day experience. We have the replays coming up next week. The replay will be out. It's worth $199. I'm giving it away free. If you tag me, you share this when I post it on my page, share it and tag me in it. Well, this week we got a winner. Janelle wins again. Janelle, by the way, everyone, just so you know, Janelle participates in every giveaway that I do. This is the second time she's won. So if someone wants to let Janelle know, you got the replay coming to you when producer Malachi finally produces all the content, which should be about 5 or 6 days. We will launch the HHS replay. I'm telling you right now, $199 for people that would cost $50,000 a day. Do not miss it. We go over mold. We go over how to build your coaching businesses. We go over estrogen and menopause and so many different topics in the functional health, entrepreneurial coaching world. You do not want to miss this. You want to learn how to build great glutes? We had David Alexander. You want to learn how to master mold? We had Jason Eaton. Jason Earl, who's the top at gotmold.com. You want to learn how to master almost anything you can learn about at the Hybrid Health Summit. Get the replay, y'all. Replay right there, $199. You can go to Metabolic Mentor University, check that out, get the pre-order. Join us, join our team, join our family, 1 in 100 Project. Come on in there. We're giving education away all the time in the 1 in 100 Project. Go to Facebook, go to put in the 1 in 100 Project, join us in the team, be a part of the movement that's changing coaching and medicine. All right, moving on. Next question. Let's get right to it. Kay Massey asked a really good question. I like this one. How are gallbladder issues related to dysfunction within the gut? Now, a lot of people think that gallbladder issues are a gut issue. And the reason that they do is because gallbladder issues will also mimic gut issues. So many of you that think you're dealing with a gut issue could be dealing with a gallbladder issue. And I would say it's about 20% of the time, 1 out of 5, when people think, oh, it's more gut, it's actually more gallbladder. So you'll have pain in the upper right side of your upper middle part of your abdomen. So if you're looking at your abdomen and you're going to the right side upper middle part of your abdomen, be right around here, up under your rib cage. If you're getting pain feels like it's in your rib cage on the upper right quadrant, right? You're dealing with that. A lot of times when you get nausea or vomiting, chronic diarrhea, really, really light colored stool, comes out super light green, or you have more dark urine, gallbladder is either involved or it's the primary issue. So a lot of people don't know this. So nausea and bloating a lot of times come from gallbladder. So if you get acid reflux, chronic acid reflux, and you can't fix it using acid reflux protocols, 9 out of 10 times it's the gallbladder. So people don't know this. So the gallbladder, people think it's always gut, that the gut causes the gallbladder issues. And yes, it can be true. Like if you have an inflamed gut, it can get into the liver, right? Because, as we go through the process, I eat things, it goes obviously through my throat, into my stomach, into the duodenum, then it's gonna drop down into my small intestine, right? Well, as it's coming down and after it passes the stomach, small intestine, it's where the liver gets involved, right? So liver, gallbladder is right there, all right? So a lot of times if you have an inflamed gut, you can have an inflamed gallbladder and liver. But more often than not, your gallbladder is having issues from nutrition, stress, but detoxification issues. And people don't know this. They think that the gallbladder is more involved with digestion, and it is. The gallbladder's job is to store up bile. Bile is like a fat emulsifier, just so everybody knows. So for example, if you go to the toilet and you take a number 2 and that stool still floats, it means you're not digesting your fats well enough, right? That means you probably are underproducing bile, okay? However, bile has, what if your gallbladder was removed? Can that cause mimic gut issues? Well, I've got some concerning news for you, Come Delilah. I'm glad you're here. You need to be aware of this and why this is such a dangerous issue, why this concerns me so much. Because 95% of gallbladder removals end up in some serious chronic disease within 3 to 5 years. Because the gallbladder is not the cause to almost anything. See, most of the time, standard medicine can only work on what it sees. So when you talk about pain, nausea, fatigue, it will look inside the body. It might do an ultrasound of your gallbladder, and it may see gall sludge. It may see small gallstones. Now, a massive gallstone may be a reason to get rid of the gallbladder, but it's pretty rare. The whole floating stool for young children, same issue with gallbladder possibly? Certainly, absolutely. You're exactly right. I would use a product like beta TCP, or you just need a little bit of ox bile with a couple meals. I also like a product called Bloaties Pro, Miss Coach Caster, if I said that right. I also like Bloaties Pro, really good for children, and then maybe just a little bit of ox bile, or go with something like beta TCP, like has taurine and stuff to help your body make more bile. It might be just a nutritional issue. You might want to start with a little bit of taurine. Great question, by the way. In fact, you know what? Waleed, go ahead and hook up Miss Coach Caster with beta TCP for me. That's not a New Ethics product, but let's hook her up. All right. Now, so what happens is the doctors see a little bit of gall sludge. They immediately take the gallbladder out. Why do they take the gallbladder out? Because they see it as a non-essential organ. Just like maybe your appendix, right? Tonsils. They see them as non-important organs. The problem with this is that over time, we always end up figuring out that the organ that they removed was probably a little bit more important than we thought. I can tell you right now that if you have your tonsils removed, you have your appendix removed, and if you are way more likely to have chronic issues, health issues, allergy issues, gut issues, and it's because these things are backups to the immune system, to cleaning out your body and helping your body reset. Let me give you a good theory about what they think the appendix is. So the appendix, if you know anything, it's a little offshoot from the GI tract, and it's very hard to get anything in it. So when something does get in it that is insoluble, like gum, for example, or a quarter maybe you ate when you were 5 years old. Come Delilah, this is the problem. Now you have your thyroid removed and you have your gallbladder removed. This is going to become problematic, and this is my concern for you, and this is where I'm going. Let me explain. So the appendix has all of the bacteria saved up from the GI tract. So it is a copy. So have you ever, I don't know if you've ever had this, but maybe your computer specialist has told you, always have a backup. Never not have a backup, because if something happens to your hard drive, you need a backup, right? And so what happens, 12 pounds of inflammation fluid in 3 weeks. See, you've dropped 12 pounds. Oh, you've dropped 12 pounds, it looks like. Less than. So drop 12 pounds, I think is what you're saying there. Congratulations, K. Massey. That's awesome. Now, coming back to this. So it is, the appendix has all the bacteria. That is a backup to your GI tract. So let's say I use antibiotics. Let's say I get poisoned. Let's say I eat something, I get a parasite or something that destroys my gut. Well, what is going to be there to back up all of what used to be in the gut? Well, many scientists believe that the appendix is the backup hard drive to the gut from serious disastrous events. And I can tell you that I know for certain that people that do not have their appendix have way less hardy GI tracts than people who do. So I can tell you, I already see that association pretty strongly. When we do histories, almost everyone that has massive gut issues had their appendix out. So I just want you to think about that, right? And the tonsils, they're finding many other immunologically related reasons to have them. Now, sometimes you got to get them out. I understand that. And sometimes you got to get your appendix out. I understand that. I'm just telling you that they do serve what seem to be important functions in the body. And the gallbladder is huge because the gallbladder is the intersection of detoxification. Now, people are like, what are you talking about, right? What should we supplement when we don't have our appendix? Well, that comes back to great microbiome support. I highly recommend like our probiotic, Flora Protect, and then adding in things like gourmet greens. So taking a greens product that has prebiotics, probiotics, and what now they're talking about, which is postbiotics. And again, eating a variety in your diet. All of these things are really good ideas. Diet variation. Do not eat a monotonous diet, meaning do not eat the same thing every day, all the time. All right, keep going. Now, the gallbladder. Everybody thinks it's a gastrointestinal tool, and it is. It assists in digestion. But what people don't realize is that the gallbladder almost has a 5 times more important part of detoxification. Let me walk you through it. Producer Malachi, hit front screen on this for me. So when you look at this, you guys have to understand, 65% of your genetic code, 65% of it is about encoding for a phase of enzymes called cytochrome P450. And cytochrome P450 has everything to do with breaking down fat-soluble agents. Okay, what do you think, what else did I just tell you is involved in fat-soluble agents? Anybody? Bile. Bile is involved. And then you'll see here that bile is involved in phase 1 detoxification. It's pulled through the liver, and guess what? Over here, you see that? That says bile right there. So you eliminate the waste using appropriate amounts of bile. So, but what you need to understand is then it has to be after it's hydrolyzed. So you take something that's fat soluble, you process it, you attach cytochrome P450 to it as an emulsifier, and then you put a water molecule around it. That's called hydroxylation. And then it is conjugated through sulfation or glucuronidation or whatever, or methylation. It is conjugated here, and then it is eliminated through the system, okay? This process relies heavily, especially here in the waste section, with bile, all right? Did you know then that bile is actually then saved? So the bile in your colon, not all of it gets eliminated in stool. I bet you didn't know that. A good 15% of your bile is then recollected in the colon and then run back through the liver again. Let me say that again. Your bile does not all go out your colon. It's not all in the toilet. A good portion of your bile gets recycled, puts back into phase 1, okay? Gets reused in the liver. So what happens is if you've got someone that's pretty toxic or a gallbladder that's not working correctly and you have weird conjugation pathways, what will happen is if you don't detox well, then things won't get fully processed in the liver. And when they don't get fully processed in the liver, they'll get stuck in your bile. Let me give you an example. Estrogen. So if estrogen doesn't get detoxed very, very well, the body has a unique set of genes that work through something called, you'll see it here. Do you guys see this word? Glucuronidation. Do you know what that is? So if your body has blocks due to stress or toxicity or estrogen dominance or birth control, and it can't process the estrogen, its normal methylation pathway, methylation or glutathione conjugation, then your body will switch to a less effective, less efficient, less optimal pathway to get it out of the body through glucuronidation. This is why a genetics test is really good. This is why doing a Dutch test to see how you detox estrogen, and if you have a really, really poor estrogen detox, you're more likely to have gallbladder issues. Because what happens is Glucuronidation is exactly as the word shows, glucose. That's right, your body uses glucose, right, to detox estrogen. Now, does anybody think that that sounds like a good idea? Out of curiosity, do you think using sugar to detox a hormone is a great idea? No, it's not. And it turns into a sludge. It turns into a tar, and that ends up in your gallbladder. And then the bile can't get it out. And then you can end up with little stones, but more likely sludge. That sludge sits in there, causes a lot of inflammation. Yes, Emily Gerard, coffee enemas do help with that, but I recommend it with usually beta TCP, taurine. I like to flush. I do a gallbladder flush. We're going to talk about this, right? But a lot of nutrients that you need for the gallbladder are right here, particularly choline. There it is, taurine, B5, B12, hopefully some glutamine, right, which also helps the gut. And then you got your magnesium. So there's a lot of things that are involved in helping the gallbladder, right? Particularly in the phase 2. But you've got some over here too to think about folic acid and the rest of your B vitamins. Super important, okay? Now, here's the thing you need to understand. Hit me with the front shot there, Malachi. What you need to see here, and it's hard to tell, but in the middle of this chart, I don't think I can actually get in the front of this screen, can I? Can I walk over there? Ooh, here we go. Yeah, leave it right there. Leave it right here. So this is like a complex setup, but I want you guys, and it's hard to tell from this screen, but you have toxins that come in from here. And as they come into the liver, there's a release of bile acids. Those bile acids run through the GI tract and then are reloaded here. This is bile recollection, right? What if a child 10 years has high glucuronidase? Interesting. You mean beta glucuronidase or just glucuronidase, right? Usually I would use, and Gen D, I'm going to get to your question too there, sweetheart. I saw you just get in the chat. So glucuronidase, right, usually can be changed just with diet, but if not, you can use a really small amount. 10's fine. I'd probably use about 50 to 100 milligrams of decalglucarate, actually, and they should be more than fine. Okay, so this is what's happening. So what I want people to realize is what's going on with gallbladder, and it's happening all the time. They're cutting out people's gallbladders. And when you do that, now that's why people get gallbladder pain, okay? Because the imbalance of detox is boiling up inflammation at the gallbladder. So then the gallbladder's cut out. And when it's cut out, now all the pro-inflammatory toxic junk that was going in there has nowhere to go. So at first, oh, my gallbladder hurts. I get it cut out. Well, now the gallbladder's gone. So the site of inflammation, is all this taught in your university? Yes. These slides I specialty make, sweet boy Levi. But on the other hand, we have our private live trainings, like meaning you have case studies going on all the time that they can walk you through this. But this is all, we go through all of this inside of our courses, especially into our new 13-week cohorts where we walk you through it with a class instructor, or you can do self-paced. We're doing this for like $2,000. You can get 13 weeks, get your first certification for like $2,000. We've got a whole new deal. You got to check it out at MMU. What used to be $20,000 is now way, way less. You got to check it out. Now, okay, so understand, right? If your gallbladder is gone and you're not making enough bile, then it's going to sit at the liver and it's going to spread systemically. This ends up leading to cellular inflammation because it gets stuck in your cells. It's got nowhere to go. It goes into your lymphatic system. This causes autoimmune disorders. It causes mass, right, immunological upregulation, mass inflammation. So watch the timeline, y'all. I start building up toxicity. Then my gallbladder starts to hurt. My doctor, it says idiopathic origin. My doctor sees some gall sludge build up. Then the gallbladder is cut out. The gallbladder gets cut out, and then I'm okay for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. But then guess what? All of a sudden, boom, Crohn's, colitis, Hashimoto's, weight loss resistance. It goes on and on. If people are considering getting their gallbladder out, beg them to stop. Come see us or another functional practitioner. The first thing you got to do is holistic methods to clean the gallbladder out. We've saved 1 million gallbladders at Nutrition Dynamic. I know other practitioners can do it. You don't have to come to us, which is now Vital Coaching. But just beg someone, don't get your gallbladder out, because it's going to come back like a tsunami, because the real problem isn't the gallbladder. But allopathic Western medicine has this nasty habit of only being able to treat what it can see instead of looking at root causes. So your gallbladder in appropriate bile production is one of the keys to detoxification. So I want people to understand that. People think gallbladder, gut issues. They all get inflamed. If you're toxic and eating shit, yeah, your gut's gonna hurt, your gallbladder's gonna be probably a little bit off. And if you work your gut, your gallbladder should get better. But most people that are having specific gallbladder pain are having it due to detox reasons, not due to gut issues. Although gut usually goes along with it, I just want you to put it in the right order. All right, by the way, shout out K Massey, we wanna hook you up. It's not this product, but I want to hook you up with our GDA Max Pro. You want to talk about being able to eat massive amount of carbs, get super swole, stay clean and lean on top, and feel great after. And then also it's reducing it brings back normal sugar levels within 1 hour. There's not a stronger GDA on the product. It is insane. Me and Carrie Jones created it. It works a little bit like semaglutide. The herbs work on GLP-1. So check it out. We're going to send it to you. Thank you for your question. All right, moving on. Next question. Have you worked with clients diagnosed with high oxalate levels? Now, all you nutrition coaches or people who work out a lot or people who want to feel good and don't want to feel like crap and you're generally into fitness, listen up. This is something that you should know about. Oxalates, oxalic acid, right? How do you to get GDA Max Pro? That's because come to Layla, GDA Max Pro can only be given by a practitioner or a coach. And so you have to go to Practitioner Depot to get it. You can't get it at New Ethics, or you've got to go through one of the amazing coaches that's on this platform. Because GDA Pro is so strong, we want to use practitioner platforms. We are creating a whole line of products that only coaches and doctors have access to. You can get to a lot of our baseline products, but our Pro line, which is what we're launching all of our products under now, you have to go through a coach to get it. You can't get it on Amazon. We don't do direct to consumer marketing. It's because we are a product company for coaches, by coaches, and that's why we're creating the Pro line to back our coaches up in the really strong products. Go through them. Does MTHR correlate to insulin resistance? Well, you're going to find, MTHR correlates to almost everything, because you can do association studies. Just so you know, 60% of female population has one allele, or at least one heterozygous allele of MTHFR, right? So you could say, oh, look at all the people that have insulin resistance, how many of them have MTHFR gene mutation, and you'll probably find a correlation. But in general, not as much as you think. Methylation is super important, but it's not the key to insulin function. You need methylation, but you have, thank you, I just found out I have 2. Well, listen, that could be an easy fix, okay? Now, other genes are more important that go along with MTHFR. MTHFR by itself, unless you have a complete shutdown of your C677T allele, or you have a heterozygous in both of your genes, doesn't impact you that much alone, right? I forgot, would it be okay to take 2 GDA Max pills a meal? Markham, that's what I do. So GDA Max Pro dropped my sugars in 1 hour, 50 points, and it increased my ketone production while eating carbs, which implies fat metabolism, by over 20%. If you want to burn more fat while eating your food, check out GDA Max Pro. I'm telling you now. Watch your ketones, watch your blood sugars. See if I'm bullshitting. Post your results. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right. But back to the question, she was, go back up, Producer Malachi. I forgot what the hell she was asking me. Oh, here, let's go ahead and get to that question right there. I like that. Alyssa asked, what if someone has high TPO antibodies, but is presenting more hyperthyroid and TSH, T4, and free T3? So Alyssa, this is not uncommon. 2 out of 10 people that have high TPO also have TGA. So Alyssa, you need to go back and do a little bit more in depth. So you need to do a TSI, a TGB, or TBG, okay? You need to do like a TRAB, TRAB, all right? You need to do a total T4. You need to do a TGA, and you're probably gonna find out that you have a both Graves and Hashimoto's case. So 1 out of 10 cases of Graves or Hashimoto's is also Graves. And many people who get Hashimoto's, they start out hyper, they burn out the thyroid, the immune system goes after it with thyroid peroxidase antibodies, and then it makes it go hypo from hyper. So it's not uncommon. You can be tricked. That's why we usually like to look at TGA and TPO. If they end up having higher TGA levels, I would also have them go to an endocrinologist and make sure that they get a thyroid scan, make sure that they don't have any adenomas or thyroid lumps, or end up having maybe cancerous like polyp or tumor. To pick off the question, does the Dutch test cover most thyroid and other hormones? So the Dutch test looks really, really well at cortisol throughout the day. It looks at all of your sex hormone metabolites. It looks at other organic acids to look for hyperpermeability of the gut, neurotransmitters, melatonin production, but thyroid is the one that it really doesn't cover. You can look at total cortisol versus free cortisol production, and if it's really poor where you're producing very little cortisol or you're producing a lot, but you have a high amount of metabolized cortisol, that can show signs of probably thyroid dysfunction. But yeah, you're gonna wanna run thyroid separate. That's the only downside to the Dutch Complete or any of the Dutch products is that you really can't test thyroid that well that way, okay? Is the Dutch test accurate when you're on birth control? Hell yes it is, Tori. That's right, you should look at your hormones on a, let me ask you something, Torrid, maybe Kendall, Torrid Kendall. Let me ask you something, Torrid. If I told you, hey, Miss Kendall, I'm on testosterone replacement therapy. I'm on Test, I'm on Anavar. I'm just not gonna look at my labs because I'm on those. What would you say to me? You'd probably like, you're crazy. You're on steroids. You should probably know your hormone level. That's the same thing I think when you tell me you're on birth control and you don't wanna look at your hormones. You're on a steroid. You should know your hormone levels. I'm sorry, I like to use logic with my application. That's not making fun of you, that's making fun of the medical system because they're telling you not to look, which is crazy to me. I forget what you mean, the abbreviation to HTMA is. WIT, I don't know, real quick, we'll take a look. Check out HTMA test. I don't know what she's, is that a hair test? I think that's a hair test, HTMA. Producer Malachi, what do you got?
HTMA test. Hair tissue.
Hair test?
Hair tissue mineral.
Yeah, so listen, here's what I'm gonna tell you, okay? Hair tests can be extremely fallible. I'm not a big fan. If you wanna look at that, that's cool, and it said you were low deficient on all minerals, which maybe you're chronically dieting or under eating, Wit, you would know. Are you under eating, sweetheart? You know, my suggestion is you can assume that that's true, and then I would take a couple things. You might need more humic shale and fulvic acid. These are soil nutrients that help you absorb first mineral vitamin chelates, okay, mineral chelates. So I would use it's by Cellcore. It's called something minerals. It's called I can't remember. Can you look up Cellcore? It's Trace Minerals or something like that. Producer Malachi. So, and then I would also use our New Ethics multivitamin. I would do that, and then if you need iron, get the one with iron. But listen, the hair tests are there's not a good standard for them. CT Minerals. Thank you, Emily.
Minerals linked active.
Yeah, CT Minerals. I like CT Minerals, and then I would go with our New Ethics multivitamin. So great question. By the way, let's go ahead and hook her up. I know I told you, Waleed, I wasn't going to do this, but I'm giving away all kinds of product. Go up, go up, go up, go up. Let's see what her name was. Waleed, get her name Wit22 down. Go down, go down, go down. Wit2205. Go ahead and send her our New Ethics multivitamin without iron, because I don't know if she needs iron or not. She can dose that separately. See, we're giving away products all the time. I love y'all are just being loud and proud as hell in the chat. So I'm going to keep giving products away, baby. Okay, go up real quick. Go up. Got more questions. Right there. Jins was, I don't know how to say any of that. 600. How to get rid of stubborn high methane SIBO. So I'm going to get to that question because I do not believe what you have is SIBO if you've had it for a long time. This whole thing about SIBO isn't real as you think it is. Meaning that most people that think they have SIBO, which basically describes having bacteria in the wrong place. And they're so worried about whether I have methane or hydrogen, and it doesn't matter. None of it matters, okay? I've been solving SIBO at a greater than 90% success rate with all of our organizations without ever looking at a methane or SIBO test, because it doesn't help. It's 50-50 if you get a false positive anyway, and even if you do, all that's gonna tell you is what antibiotics to take, and we don't wanna take antibiotics. Antibiotics is what causes SIBO. So we don't wanna take the thing that causes the thing to try to fix the thing, right? We don't wanna do that. None of that makes any sense, right? So we use tests like GI map or gut zoomer or an organic acid. I would start with a GI map. You can get one at practitionerdepot.com, and then you can get it reviewed by our top dietitians for like 75 bucks, because most people don't have SIBO. They have commensal bacteria overgrowth. You've got the wrong bacteria that's been in your gut since you were born. It's grown too high. It's called monocolonization. You've got too much of one bacteria, too little of others. It's releasing all of these acids like butyrate and others. These acids irritate the gut, so you bloat. So then you sit there like this and you're distended like you got gas. Ain't got nothing to fucking do with SIBO, okay? Has everything to do with too much of the wrong bacteria in there, right? Why is caloric restriction the only thing that works with chronic inflammation from lupus? So Megan, this is a really good question. Or Maria is like an H in there. I'm gonna change your life. So if you got chronic inflammation from lupus, a couple things. Waleed, let's send her a trace minerals or trace min multi-immune. Send her that because it's got the beta glucans in it for the immune system. The reason you're using, and it's not going to work forever, that's why I would suggest coming to us. The reason lowering calories helps with lupus is because when you lower the calories, your body goes from a sugar burning state, which is mTOR, which is what bodybuilders use to build muscle and hormones, and it switches you into something called AMPK. In AMPK energy metabolism, that's where you process fat, but it's also where autophagy happens. Autophagy is like getting rid of bad cells. That calms the immune system down. But it's not gonna work forever because you're already seeing that you gotta go lower and lower with your calories, and you're walking yourself into a corner. At least go to VitalMed, go to vitalmed.com, at least go on rapamycin, 1-3 milligram twice a day to help calm down the effect of foods stimulating mTOR. I would think about things like thymosin alpha 1, but eventually, if you come in, our OID program can probably get rid of all the symptoms related to lupus. I'm just telling you, don't do it alone. Caloric restriction, your body is going to adapt to it, and it's going to become your prison instead of your support. But that's why caloric restriction induces autophagy. Autophagy calms the immune system down, but you can't stay there forever. Whoa, we are getting loaded in the chat tonight. You guys are on fire. We're setting questions. I'm so bloated right now and it hurts and it sucks because I eat healthy. Stimulus makes it worse. That's because Sweet Boy Levi, it's because you already have an inflamed gut. So you need to back off the fiber. You can't add more fiber right now. If you're already bloated, we're gonna get into that. This is for you, Sweet Boy Levi. We're gonna talk about this. If Levy, sorry, I don't know. I'm terrible at this. So oxalates, listen up, oxalate levels, this is important. So oxalates, dietary oxalate, or if you eat a high uric acid diet, it can lead to oxalate crystals inside the kidneys. Oxalates build up in the kidneys. They can cause swelling, inflammation, irritation. They're kind of an anti-nutrient to a certain degree. But what happens, you know what's funny about oxalates, and you see this build up in people? People don't realize when you start cutting out foods like dairy and other high-fat foods, because you're worried about saturated fats or some misguided belief about nutrition and what food's bad, you start cutting out calcium-based foods. And the funny thing is that calcium removes oxalates that build up in the kidneys. So dairy is one of the biggest ones for calcium that helps remove oxalates. So what's funny is I see people all the time go, ooh, no dairy, no meat, no eggs. And then they end up feeling like shit because they got an oxalate buildup and then we have to flush them. So it's funny, producer Malachi hit it from the front there. So what's funny is that oxalates will actually get pulled out by using high calcium based foods. Sometimes. But if you pull to the next screen. So for example, if I go pulling out, let's say I get rid of seafood, I get rid of dairy, I get rid of eggs, I get rid of a few of other ingredients, a bunch of these things that carry calcium, and then you go pouring in a bunch of, this happens to vegetarians and vegans all the time. So vegetarian or vegan-based diets, particularly like spinach, a lot of the fibrous fermented foods. If you're eating a whole bunch of like dinosaur chicken nuggets, you know what I'm saying? Because you're like being a half vegan and you just want to microwave your life and talk about how you're saving the animals. What ends up happening a lot of times is you build up massive amount of oxalates and it blows your gut out. Then see, because I'm feeding the wrong bacteria over and over and over and over and over. Okay? So vegans mess themselves up all the time. I don't mind a vegan diet, but if you've not been eating vegan and you switch real quickly and you're doing it irresponsibly and you're not cooking the foods and you don't know what you're doing, you're more likely to cause yourself problems. I just made a post on my stories about Dave Asbury, and I'm not his biggest fan. He starts fires and then tries to put them out. But he was a hardcore vegan, and go listen to his story about veganism because it really, really, really messed him up because of oxalates. Okay? So this is part of the problem. So vegans, I got to detox them all the time because they get all these oxalate buildup because there's so many oxalates in the food, right? So, and then they cut out things like dairy, which can remove it, all right? So now, high oxalate foods are like nuts, grains, black pepper, interesting foods, snap peas, right? Spinach, parsley. So one of the things that makes people feel really good is going on a low oxalate diet. So if you're dieting a lot and you feel like shit, and you're eating a lot of sweet potatoes over and over and over again, and maybe you're crushing almonds, right? And maybe you're eating like a cream of wheat, for your carbs, like you're gonna build up a lot of oxalates and it's gonna make you tired and you don't realize that that's what's doing it. So one of the things that I do with my competitors all the time, or competitive dieters or whatever, is I'll do a low oxalate, but not real low, just lower levels. Low oxalate, low FODMAP, flush. So one of the things is most people aren't getting enough calcium in, so the multivitamin or like a medical food like Metapure has got some calcium in it. Limiting sugary-based foods. Don't worry about animal protein. It's kind of bullshit. But this part, so low oxalate foods, vitamin C and potassium. So potassium citrate in water will help flush it out really well too. And so a low oxalate plan comes with my Cellular Restore Kit. In the kit comes a diet book that I designed, that I help everybody across the country with. You can buy the kit, it will flush oxalates out of you and you will instantly feel good, right? And it comes with, if you guys want, it's only $99 right now, right? If you guys want, I want to make an announcement here just so you guys know. So I still have my 1 in 100 community. That's for coaches and practitioners. But for people that want more support, that want to be helped by my coaches, that want free education, live trainings, I've got the announcement. We have the Vital app. That's why I did a rebrand, the Vital app. It's in the App Store right now. I have my own app with my team. We have our own app. Super amazing. I'm super proud of the team. It is an incredible app. It's got free trainings in there. It's got live trainings in there. You can buy any of my courses. Like if you want the flush, you get our coaches are in here to help you one-on-one in our live community chat. You get the app for free. The app, the first level of the app is free. This thing is blowing up. This thing is gonna eventually be up to 50,000 people. I'm telling you right now. But this is where the flush course is. So you can buy the flush course. The app is amazing. Thank you, Kay Massey. I appreciate you. You can get the app for free, right? And then you can buy, as I launch courses, you'll get private prices to my courses right on here. You can buy the flush course, and then my coaches will help you through it. There's a course on there. It'll build the diet for you. If you go through my flush course, it'll design a flush diet for you. So my man, Levi, you can flush that gut out and it'll help a lot. And if you still have problems, then all you need to do is add some gut defender, maybe our probiotic, and you should be good to go. If not, my coaches will help you in there. My coaches are also giving out like free sessions sometimes in there, so you guys can get a free coaching session. But it's free. Vital Health Coaching Collective. This app is where I'm gonna blow up all of our following and get people in there into a place where I can really give them in-depth help. And my coaches are in there just working with people 24/7. So it'll help. Well, Amber, what do I recommend to fix chronic constipation? Starting with the flush, adding a lot of magnesium citrate, and then it's the gallbladder. So if you have constant constipation, it's usually your gallbladder. So remember everybody what I was talking about earlier. Chronic constipation, and if you're drinking enough water, you know what? It's probably gallbladder. You might have some detox issues going on. So when I have chronic constipation, I flush somebody for 10 days, producer Malachi, next screen. I flush someone for 10 days and I add Beta Plus. Amber, your constipation issues will be gone. Thank you very much. Check it out. I'm downloading it now. All right, hey, thank you so much. You guys are getting it. What's the app again? The app is Vital Health Collective. Hit it from the front, producer Malachi. Vital Health Collective. You'll see it in the App Store. I'm very, very proud of my team. I want to thank you to my executive team. I want to thank you to my directors team. I want to thank you to the 3LC, my oversight partners that are helping us build this brand up. We are coming. We have so much stuff now, high level. I'm just so proud of everything that we're doing. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. You remember that I said that. All right. Is a flush just a diet to follow, or do you have to take the supplements with it? Well, Levi, if you're trying to fix a severe distension with just diet, good luck. It ain't gonna happen, right? It's not gonna happen eating a basket of fruit, okay? Where do we find Beta Plus? Go to practitionerdepot.com. Waleed, drop it in the chat. Practitionerdepot.com is our platform where you can design your own blood work, get all your labs, everything, right? It's all on there, okay? All right. In fact, you know what, Selena? I'm feeling like I want to give some stuff away. Waleed, go ahead and hook up Selena with a Beta Plus on us. Thank you for coming to my page and checking out this Metabolic Monday hour with us. Is there a link between vegan diet for 10 years and new gluten intolerance? I see it all the time, Becca. I see it all the time. So I don't like gluten. I know is a bad guy. I understand that because it's hard to digest. Okay, I understand this. But gluten can be digested if you have a healthy gut and you eat it in a natural organic amount. For example, like if you eat it in Ezekiel bread, you got wheat germ in there, you got things to help break down the gluten in there. Your body should be able to break down gluten. I'm downloading your app now. Oh, thank you. Now listen, you can get on the app. There's free stuff on there. And then there's different levels of membership. We're in there promoting stuff all the time. We're in there dropping free education. We do live trainings from the app so you can learn all about how to cook or what different ingredients, what they do, what to look out for in the stores. We're trying to create our own private community so you get the right fucking information instead of what's on Instagram, because gosh damn, it's all over these days. Making me cry. Go up a little bit. Who said that? Oh, Selena. Oh, well, hey, we're here to help you. We're trying to do what we can. So I appreciate you. Go up a little bit further. So right there. Emily says, what supplements would you recommend for postmenopausal women struggling with arthritis? So the first thing that I would do, remember, if it's postmenopausal, Emily, it's immunological, but it's also structural. So in the joints are breaking down. So there's more inflammation when moving. But remember, the immune system is making all inflammation worse. So I highly, highly recommend a supplement called Osteovantiv. It's the immune side of it. It's an immune modulator, okay? Works a bit like glucosamine chondroitin, but it works 2 to 5 times stronger because it's got pure type 2 collagen in it. And then I would also recommend inflavonoid. Inflavinoid has something called a SCRM, selective kinase response modulator. Think of it as a natural medication that lowers the kinases that are causing COX-2 inflammation and NF-kappa B in the actual skeletal system of it, right? So it's in the musculoskeletal system. So you're dealing with the immune system with osteovantiv, you're dealing with the musculoskeletal system using inflavinoid. So that would be my suggestion. All right, what's that osteo supplement? Well, I mean, if you want osteoporosis, or are you talking about Ostera or osteovantiv? How to bring estrogen up naturally, Atari? Great question. So you're gonna wanna eat soy, you're gonna wanna eat grains. We have a Mediterranean diet is really, really good for this, right? You wanna bring your protein down, you wanna bring your ancient grains up, you wanna bring your veggies up, you wanna bring your phytonutrients up. You actually wanna eat fermented foods, and you want your soy. And if that doesn't do it enough, that should do it pretty well. If that doesn't do it itself, then you're gonna need some herbs that are really good for it. There's a product called Femestroplex. I would really recommend you can check that out from Metagenics. It helps promote estrogen. Sometimes you don't need a lot more estrogen. You just need phytoestrogens that come from a high Mediterranean diet, or you can get phytoestrogens in a supplement. So go ahead and check that out. All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna go ahead and get to a couple more questions. How to support Jen D. How to support, you are looking amazing. Well, thank you, Alice. I appreciate you. All right, well, there's no comments. See, she wants a pro. You know what, Alice? All right, Alice, hit up Waleed. We're gonna go ahead and give you a GDA Max Pro. Teacher's pet today is Alice. I'm gonna take that. So, all right, how to support the body to coming off of T3, T4. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys something. If anybody ever tries to put you on two products, I'm gonna tell you never to do this. You never take T3, ever. I don't care unless you've got Hashimoto's, possibly. Never, ever, unless you don't have a thyroid too, possibly. Never, ever let any doctor or any coach ever put you on T3. It will slow your thyroid function. It'll make your cells less sensitive to thyroid hormone. It will slow down your endocrine system, because your pituitary and your thyroid are the thermostat to the rest of the organs that make hormones. And if your body becomes insensitive to the thermostat of pituitary and thyroid, then everything else that goes after it will get low. You'll never meet a person that went on thyroid medicine that didn't have low or really imbalanced sex hormones later. Don't go on T3, and never, unless you've got severe diabetes or severe prediabetes, never let anyone put you on metformin continuously. Do not take metformin daily, and especially don't take extended release. Instant release, maybe. Because both of these things will slow down your metabolism, cause metabolic issues later that lead to other bigger problems. Okay? Citronella, I think you're saying that wrong, but usually, like, I think you're talking about, there is a, so you've got like, Cytomel. Yes. Yes, that is Cytomel. Yes. Black sweet raspberry, if you are on Cytomel, you need to run for the hills. Now, I got recommendations for this, right? But what I would recommend here is that we have an answer for this. It was one of the first products so no metformin for PCOS. Levy, that's not what I'm talking about. PCOS, you can use metformin, but your body will adjust to it. Your sugars will end up going up, and it'll end up slowing your metabolism. If you're gonna take metformin, take instant release and take it with carbohydrates. But oh, thank you, just downloaded the app. Welcome to the family, awesome. Thank you for doing this, it's incredible. Appreciate you, Sophia. So metformin, does anybody know why semaglutide was created? Does anybody know why the GLP weight loss drug everybody's talking about, everyone's raving about, because they don't have to, do anything fitness related, and they can just lower their hormone levels? Does anybody know why metformin is so popular, or semaglutide is so popular? It was originally designed for metformin resistance. Does anybody know that? Joanna, yes, metformin resistance. So people were taking metformin, okay, for diabetes, and everybody thought the world was fine. Hey, no problems, nothing to see here, okay? Just go ahead and take metformin, it'll take care of everything. Well, what they started seeing was that a good 20 to 40% my naturopath, your naturopath has you on Cytomel, your naturopath. Okay, that's not a naturopath. That is an MD in disguise running around with an ND or ND license. That person, I'm sorry, that they should know better. You should come talk to our team. It is not okay. Just download the app. I'm sure it'll be amazing. That's awesome. Everybody's downloading the app. That's what's up. Thank you, everybody. Okay. So but go up a little bit for me real quick. So you need to come off Cytomel. Okay. Period. End dot. So I have a solution for this, but I need to explain. There is nobody, right? Wait a minute. What were we talking about first? Cytomel. So thyroid hormone. Go ahead and check out your thyroid levels when you take your T3. Your T3 levels, if you ever taken your blood work a couple hours after you take thyroid hormone, are sky high. Sky high. Your body doesn't like massive amounts of thyroid hormone ever. When it sees that much thyroid hormone at one time, it turns down its ability to hear the message. Because it can't take all that thyroid hormone in at once. Okay? So what happens is, every time I take T3, which is one of the most powerful hormones in the body, every cell listens to it. So if you keep cranking your T3 levels, your body's going to start resisting it. And when it starts resisting it, then it's not going to have enough T3 to stay as every cell to stay as active. So then all of your cells and your endocrine system slow down. It's like all the lights in the house dim. Whoom. So there's no one I know, almost zero, maybe 15% of people say that after 3 to 5 years, maybe even 2 years. In fact, I don't know anyone that went on Cytomel that hasn't had to keep raising the level of what they need to get the same effect. It's called hormone resistance. I don't know anyone. And in fact, at least at 2 to 3 or at least 3 to 5 years, you're going to start noticing that you gain weight on the thyroid medicine. Think of thyroid T3 hormone as a fat burner. A fat burner burns fat until you take it too long and then it gains fat. I don't care if you're using T3 because your levels look low on one lab. Your body still sees it as a fat burner. It still sees it as a stressor. It still sees it as a metabolic activator. It's the same thing as caffeine, clenbuterol, phentermine. Your body is going to respond to it the same way. It's going to eventually reject it. Just like it rejects glucose. When glucose gets too high, it can't absorb all that glucose. NP thyroid. You can take NP thyroid a little bit better than T3, but it's still got too much T3 in it, right? So we've created a solution. I have a real solution to this problem. We use trace amounts of bioactives in either bovine and porcine supplements. I created Thyroid Boost Pro, or you can use GTA Forte. Take 2 Thyroid Boost Plus or 3 GTA Forte, and now I can't tell you to get off thyroid medication, but if you were my mother, this is what I would recommend. You could start by taking 1 Thyroid Boost Plus, talk to your doctor, and then cut your thyroid medicine in half after 2 days. Then take 2 Thyroid Boost Plus, make sure it's plus and not regular Thyroid Boost, or take 3 GTA Forte, and then you can walk off your thyroid medicine like that. Easy does it. We do it 1,000,000 times a year at Nutrition Dynamic under the advisement of medical supervision. I will say that. But I think you all get what I'm saying. If you were my mother, if you were my sister, if you were someone that I really cared about that was close to me, that is exactly what I would be telling you, because it works every single time. All right? So that's why that was one of the problems, because I can't get people to lose weight. At some point, people on T3 stop losing weight. I bet there's people in this, we got 50 people on the chat right now. How many people have been on T3 and now don't lose weight, or had a harder time losing weight when they're on T3? Drop me in the chat. I bet there's at least 2 or 3 on this live alone. Let's see if I'm right. I could be wrong. Totally works. I did it that way. Thank you, Karen. Exactly. So Karen followed the protocol that I told her. That's what she was a former client. She knows. Might have to get on the other side of thyroid out. Already have half out. Is there a natural remedy? Do I have to be on Synthroid? So Synthroid is not that terrible, but we can fix that. We can help you. I'm telling you, keto diets, fasting, again, OID program, but it can be hard to know why your other part of your thyroid's being attacked. Look, how many we got on here right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look at that. Oh, 5, 6. We got 51 people on here, and you got 6 people who said T3 stopped working and made them gain weight. Me too. Fuck. There's 7. You got 7 out of 50 people that are on this call. So you mean to tell me the most prescribed drug on the planet isn't out there screwing people up because it's free money? Oh, we can just hand it out like Pez? So people think when I talk about these topics, I'm doing it because I just want to like create sales or something. No one deals with the hardest cases on the planet. I do. So I see how many cases and sample size there actually is out there. So I know, and that's why we create this. My best friend has been on T3 and she cannot lose weight, and she has Hashimoto's, and I keep telling her to do your OID. Allison, my OID program comes with a guarantee. I'm giving a guarantee to the worst of the worst clients on the planet. There's no one doing that. I am, because I know I got a 95% chance of getting it. So I want to give them the confidence in the OID program. You join the OID program, it comes with a 12-week guarantee. If you don't see biofeedback movement in 12 weeks, we work with you for free until you do. If I don't know what I'm talking about, who's going to say shit like that? Nobody. I do that because we're that good. It works. That I know I'm going to get the result. I got the ace up the sleeve. Right? Anyway. All right. Not that. Here we go. This is the last one we're going to do. You guys are doing great. What's the definition of the worst of the worst? I can't even say some of them on here because I don't know if the government's listening, but let's just say the worst cases, some of them start with a C, lymphomas, the worst autoimmune diseases, 10 years, can't lose weight, you name it. Worst edemas, kidney diseases, I mean, whatever, Joanna, whatever comes to mind, I've seen it, right? And we've chewed through it. We don't win them all. We don't win them all, but we get most of them. All right. So Kosher Delights asked a really good question. Your take on bioidentical hormone put. Been off thyroid meds for 9 months thanks to Vince and Waleed. Oh, thank you. What's up, girl? It's good to see you. Hope all is well. Got it. Vaccine injury. All right. So we see vaccine injury a lot. I highly recommend, I don't know if it's sways. I don't know what we got going on there. But I'll tell you, messes with the immune system. Yes, you got it. So what is long hauler COVID? Does anybody know? What is long hauler? This is why I'm being shadow banned right away. Every time I talk about this, Instagram is listening and being like, oh, I'm not going to spread. One more reason I'm not going to push his videos. I'm not going to let people know about him. Every time I probably talk about it, I probably hurt my net income by 1% for sure. But I don't care. You know what? Whatever. So I highly recommend doing the flush. Get the Vital app, do the flush, see if that gets rid of it. If it doesn't, I've got a new program coming called the Feast Fast Solution. It's another one of I have 3 major discoveries in nutritional systems I've made over my 18-year career. 1 was the flush, 2 was the carb pulse, and 3 is the fast feast. Okay? And we'll be offering it as a course. It'll probably come out in about 8 to 10 weeks. It will absolutely help with immune-related issues. Long hauler COVID are symptoms that persist in post-COVID patients. That's correct, Massey. But guess what? Is it COVID? Do people with long hauler COVID, which by the way, 80% of them are women, do they still have COVID? No, they don't. They don't have COVID anymore. So what problem do they have? They have an immunological secondary morbidity. It's an autoimmune disorder. It's or IMID, immune-mediated inflammatory disease. That's right, OID. There you go. That's right. She's got it. What do you think then? Okay, apply that same knowledge since I've got you all kind of thinking. I want to help you guys with something. What do you think chronic mold is? What do you think chronic Lyme is? What do you think chronic EBV is? What do you think BII is? You guys ever thought about this for a minute? They all have the same symptoms, by the way, just so you know. They all have the same symptoms. Long hauler COVID, chronic Lyme, chronic EBV, BII. Why do you think they all have the same symptoms? Could it be because it's not what caused it. Yeah, maybe you got Lyme. It also awakens old viruses. I don't believe that. I know it sounds right. It sounds right. But let me give you a study that changed my total view on this topic. So there was a study done on 500 active COVID-19 sufferers. See, okay, Levy, you're not dealing with mold. Your immune system is not letting you detox. So the mold spores are just like the oxytocin A is just sitting in your body because your body's not getting rid of it. If you come in and see us, I guarantee you in 12 weeks, I will change your life, and I'm guaranteeing it. If I don't, I'll work with you for free. This is what I'm telling you. People they'll search for 6 months. Oh, I'm detoxing mold. Now I got to get rid of this Lyme. Now I got to get rid of this EBV. They've got these Facebook groups where thousands of people in there dealing with the same thing, and they can't get rid of it, and they're trauma sharing, and everyone's comparing symptoms because you're chasing a ghost. You're chasing a ghost. Let me come back to it. 500 people, long hauler COVID. You can look this up, all right? And I'll talk about the condition that I want you to look at. It's called immunosenescence. All right? They tested them for EBV and Lyme. And did you know that 88% of people that had early COVID had early antigen Lyme and EBV? Does that mean they had it? No, they didn't have it. Okay. It's called molecular mimicry. When your immune system gets triggered by some other infection or cold or stress or toxin or whatever, it will then pop up other antigens, other antibodies. It doesn't mean you have more of that. So if I pop high for EBV, it could be I just have a cold. If I pop high for EBV, it could be my immune system is overactive. When we see high antigens in blood work, it doesn't mean you have more of the thing. All it's telling us is that the immune system's upregulated and it's producing a lot of that antibody. It changed my entire life. So now when I look at a lab and I see someone who's had EBV for 5 years, it's not EBV anymore. It's the immune system that was originally triggered by mono. Carrie Ann Johnson, I'll say the same thing to you. Carrie Ann Johnson, you send me a message right now. I guarantee you in 12 weeks, you will see movement like you've never seen on your gut, or I will work with you for free till you do. How about that, Carrie? Who's going to offer it? How about that? Doesn't matter what it is. I'll take it. See if I'm wrong. That's because you're not, Carrie, you don't have a gut issue. You're having digestive symptoms, meaning you're having symptoms in the gut that are here, so you think it's the gut. Do you know where 80% of your immune system is? In your gut. You're dealing with an immunological problem that is manifesting as gut symptoms. So how does that work when EBV pops up, goes away, pops up again? You're just being triggered. Yeah, that's it. The immune system's being re-triggered. So you can figure out, what are you re-triggering it with? Are you going through a breakup? Were you doing too much heat, like hot sauna? Were you training way too much? Were you eating a new chemical or food that could have triggered it, right? There are a million reasons your immune system will get pissed off. And when it gets pissed off, it will refire old antibodies. All right, I am Jody. I'll give you the same thing. Send me a message. We'll sign you up. If you're not seeing biofeedback progress in 12 weeks, I'll work with you for free till we do. I'll say it to anybody on this call. I'm not scared. I'll take on anything because I know what it is. I'm solving the right problem. I just know what the problem is. I'm not trying to be arrogant, okay? I'm trying to get people to understand that what people think they're seeing is not what they're seeing. You're looking at the symptom. Let me give you an example. I've said this before. You literally are good God's work. Thank you so much. I haven't felt this home in 20 years since I've been told I have PCOS. I'm so grateful to do the 12-week program. So Selena, perfect example. You say you have PCOS. Do you have high testosterone and high triglycerides? Because if you don't have classic PCOS. You have a non-classic PCOS. That is an endocrine disorder that is caused by the immune system. Thank you very much. It's all OID. It's all the immune system. That's what I keep telling people. Mastocytosis, just her way. Mastocytosis. Go ahead and check out a girl named Anna Nasseri. Anna Nasseri is my client. Mastocytosis. We're having amazing results. So go watch my OID on my link tree, Suffering to Solutions. Watch that. I saw there's a free Dutch test for 3 months as well. Is that still going? Anybody who signs up for the 6-month program, I'll give you a free Dutch. They don't have the Dutch going for the 3-month program right now, I don't think, but we can give you free blood work. We can give free blood work. But if you do the 6-month program, I'll give you the $500 test. That's fine. But the cool thing is, if you go 3 months in the 6-month program and you're not getting results, we suspend your payments, right? As long as you get the priority, you either got to get the Specialist Select program, the Priority Select program. You can't go with our base coaching program because it's not as much support with medical supervision. So don't people go to my advisors at vitalcoaching.com. Don't go to them. You've changed my life, Vis. So grateful. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Don't go buy like our level 1 coaches or a level 1 program and expect the insurance policy. You got to go with our expert coaches, which is in our Specialist Select program or our Priority Select program. That comes with the 12-week program promise. So we're here to help, okay? It really does work, but go back up. So again, let's say when I was a kid, do you know that 85% of people, by the way, just so everybody knows, all right, let me demystify you for a minute. 80 to 90% of people, or I think it's 70 to 80, have had EBV, okay? EBV is just mono, y'all, right? Do you know that lots of people get Lyme? Did you know that? Lots of people get Lyme, but they don't get sick. They don't get sick. Lots of people get mono. They get tired for a week. They're not down for 3 months, right? So a lot of us come in contact with these things, okay? But it's only certain people that the immune system goes out of control. Certain genetic reasons and lifestyle factor reasons, okay? And so it's, one in a very few will have, this reaction. Now the immune system is chronically overactive, okay? And so then people will think, oh, I feel terrible. Let me look for evidence. And they keep looking at blood work that shows EBV going up and down. It doesn't matter it's going up or down because it's not the EBV. It's the immune system that creates the antibody, not the EBV, right? So long hauler COVID, it's not COVID anymore. It's the immune system. See, Levi, how did I know? Perfect example, everybody. Take a look. Levi or Levi had mono in high school down for a whole 3-month summer. This started when you were a kid. I'm proving my point to everybody right now. I don't know any of these people in the chat. Did I not just point that out about EBV and people being down for 3 months and now having issue? And I just told Levi 20 minutes ago he had OID and I described the childhood of somebody who then was down for 3 months. Levi just explained that. That's the histories I'm telling you about. The shit I'm telling you about is real, and you guys will see. The medical system is beginning to recognize what I'm talking about, but they're trying to use other drugs and treatments for it. You do not have to do that. You do not have to go down that route. That's why in the International Journal, or the Journal of Internal Medicine, they posted on something called IMID. Thoughts on dysautonomia? We've worked on it before. It could go both ways. We usually have pretty good success with it. Yeah, we'll take it on, absolutely. Again, another immunological issue in my opinion. Yes, 100%. It has an immunological tie no matter what, right? So I'm gonna close out with this question. This is really good. Your take on bioidentical hormone replacement therapy from Vital Med. That's my medical. If you want an online medical clinic, go to vitalmedical.com. My team is the best on planet Earth. You'll get in right away. They are amazing. For amenorrhea. Amenorrhea is where, now I don't know if this is primary or secondary amenorrhea. That's my exact experience. This is wild. Okay, so they tried to cancel me not that long ago. I keep bringing this up. But nobody sees this stuff like I do. No one's paying attention. No one works the worst of the worst cases. No one's paying attention, okay? People just don't understand me. That's because you would have to live my life for 18 years and be obsessed and be an addict for this shit. You're not gonna do that. So you're not gonna understand me. You're gonna be like, this guy's full of shit. You know, look at that haircut. Look at that tight shirt he's wearing and tight pants. He's clearly a douchebag. And he's just selling me bullshit. That's what a lot of people, because that's an easier answer than I had a scientific breakthrough and I know the truth. Way easier answer to assume that I'm just a snake oil salesman. Yeah, I was testing with an endo for you. Selena, here we go. Did you all not, here we go. Wait, here we go. Selena, so you guys, how many of you stayed on here? I don't know, but Selena just says, yes. I told Selena she had non-classic PCOS. So what did she say? So I have no idea when I got it. Doctor tested me for EBV and I had no idea what it was or why she tested me for it. I have no idea when I got it. That's because Selena, it's not EBV. You have PCOS symptoms of low thyroid and fatigue, and the doctor assumed PCOS. I'm telling you, that's been your immune system the whole time. And so if your androgens are high, you need a Dutch test. If you look at a Dutch test, you'll see there's two types of androgens, not testosterone, androgens. There's two, ediocalanilone and androsterone. Ediocalanilone is the immune mediary to the immune system. So if you have beta dominance androgens, it's a high probability that you have overactive immune function. So do a Dutch complete and you're gonna find you have high, I got $5,000 right now. You go get a Dutch test and you send it to me and you don't have a high ediocalanilone. We'll start with 1,000 just because I don't want to get too cocky, but start with $1,000. You send me your Dutch test and it shows that you're not ediocalanilone and it's got your name on it. I'll send you $1,000. Bet money on it. I know you do. So that's one of the ways that we can identify that. I have high beta androgens. Malachi, can I just do a walk-off? I'm going to do a walk-off. I'm walking off. That's it. You keep talking right to me. I'm not just, but Levy, it's not just you. It is literally hundreds of thousands of people dealing with some form of this in the United States. Okay? I have like 55 coaches that work for me. My university has over 300 coaches. I work with some of the top doctors in the country. We're all saying the same thing. Blanquita, multiple sclerosis. I guarantee I can help you. MS, my stepmom has it. It's very close to my heart. I know I can help you. Low cortisol levels. It depends why you have low cortisol. You need to look at a Dutch test, right? If you guys want, message me. I'm offering my apprenticeship for half off right now for the next month. If you guys want, come join my apprenticeship. I teach all this stuff. You guys want to learn this stuff, send me a message. We can get you our basic cert and my apprenticeship for 50% off. Give me a message. If you guys want to learn this stuff and master it and help others, come check us out. Why you have low cortisol levels depends. So do you have low awakening cortisol or do you have low cortisol throughout the day? So your total production of cortisol is down and your metabolized cortisol is up. It all depends, right? All right, Sammy, send me a message. I'll hook you guys up. Yeah, I see you guys on my Metabolic Mentor lives all the time. I'll take care of you. Send me a message. So low cortisol, just go ahead and start with, if you don't know, I would do a Dutch complete. I'm going to be a coach for you. You have changed my life in the last 20 minutes alone. Selena, I'm so glad I could help. We're just glad we know the truth. We figured it out, right? My cortisol is the inactive type. Okay, that means, inactive means metabolized. And that's pretty common, sweet boy Levi or whatever. Your cortisol, your free is 0. Your metabolized is high. That's also another sign of immunological interference because your adrenals are being over inundated from stress from your immune system. So there's answers to this. I would tell you that in general, I would start with high dose vitamin C, probably around 3 to 5 milligrams or 3 to 500 milligrams. 3 to 5 grams, And then I would use a product called Transfactor Multi-Immune 3 twice a day on an empty stomach. And then I would add in probably Adrena Health 3 BID, which is twice a day. Start there, but I need to help you more than that, right? So that's right. So guys, listen up, right? We're offering my 13-week certification and my apprenticeship for 6 months for half off. It's like $4,000 total over the course of 6 months. which is nothing. Full cert, and you get to spend a week with me every other week, or every week. You spend a day with me. So anyways, Levi has a lot going on. Joanna, it's not just Levi. It's most of these clients that don't realize they're dealing with these issues, and they call it something else. They call it gut issues. They call it fatigue. They call it sleeplessness. They call it hair loss. They call it rationing. They call it hiving. They call it autoimmune disorder. They call it chronic allergy. They call it autoimmune disorder. It's all the same thing. The root of it is the same damn thing. I have chronic Lyme. I have chronic EBV. I have brain fog. The root of it's the same. Just like metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is actually the root of high blood pressure, stroke, CVD, pre-diabetes, diabetes, right? Metabolic syndrome is the root to all that. You get rid of high blood pressure. You get rid of metabolic syndrome, you get rid of all the others. Do you see what I'm saying? This isn't that complicated to understand if you're open-minded, right? All right, go up a little bit. We had, I didn't get to this question. Yep, I had Lyme when I was 4, high EDO-colanolone, Hashimoto's weight loss resistance, was working OAD with one of your coaches. There you go. Now, your case was pretty hard, I know that, but you're on the way. But that's the truth. Now, Kaylin A., I don't know how far you ended up getting and if you're still doing it or not, but you may want to consider that if your case was still that hard, you may actually need, I would highly recommend thymosin alpha-1. I would highly recommend considering hydroxychloroquine. It's relatively mild, but I would recommend it if you're still having issues and then doing the fasting again. But again, we're trying to mitigate you using any medication at all. But if you're doing okay now, then that's great. If you're not, I remember your case was pretty aggressive. That's because you got all those things. Yeah, autonomic dysfunction we're seeing that has a strong immunological component. Yes, 100%. Been a 4-year awakening, but I don't think I'm working with the right people. I'm telling you right now, give me 12 weeks. I just guaranteed. Who else is going to give you that? No one's going to give you that. Can you explain the mechanism on why fasting is good for clients with OID? Well, it depends at the right time. We don't fast everybody with OID. But remember what I just told you, mini but mighty. The thing that slows down, right? Blood clot and portal liver won't budge. We can get that to budge. I'm telling you right now, do the flush and then do a fast feasting schedule. Like eat a lot of food one day, don't eat anything for the next day for 17 to 24 hours. Give that a shot, it should work. I would use beta TCP and I would use, you need PSC, phosphatidylcholine. Any more freebies? We give freebies all the time. All right, you know what? She's been great with questions. Waleed, go ahead and give Jins Watt 600. I don't know. Give her because she was talking about Bloaties Pro. Give her Bloaties Pro. Go ahead and send her a free one. That's a great immune product, great for the gut, everything like that. Give him 12 weeks. I'm a testament to trusting the process. Thank you so much, Nessa. I really appreciate you. Thank you. I take Bloke. I don't know much about it. I've heard people taking it. Mixed reviews. So real quick, we're gonna close out on this because you guys have been great. It's been wonderful. So people, if you got amenorrhea, I don't know if this is primary or secondary. I'm guessing this is secondary amenorrhea because it sounds like she already had her cycle and she lost her cycle. Okay. So this is secondary amenorrhea. You're born with or started at a young age of primary amenorrhea. So secondary amenorrhea, would it be okay to use hormone replacement therapy? And the answer is yes. So what you need to understand is there is a certain amount of exogenous, exogenous means outside your body. Endogenous means produced by your body. So you can give yourself, there is a threshold, just so everybody knows, there is a threshold of exogenous hormone that you can give without turning off endogenous production. Do you see what I'm saying? So let me say this again. There is just a certain amount of exogenous hormone that I can give without turning off your endogenous production. So progesterone, that's typically around 50 milligrams. Testosterone, it can be on the person, but it can be anywhere from 5 to 20 milligrams. Probably usually more around 5. It's pretty sensitive, right? 5 to 10 milligrams. Estrogen, it can be anywhere from like 3 to 5. Sometimes estrogen can get a little bit higher because it's an end user hormone. I'm working with one of your coaches. The program works. Haven't felt this great in years. Thank you. P.S. My husband has the blood clot. Thank you, Vince. You are the best. Hey, reach out. We can work. We don't have to, not for money. I can, we can try to help your husband if he's dealing with a clot. And talk to one of our coaches or talk to me. We can at least give you like a protocol to help with him. Okay. So coming back to this question, right? So the question is, can I take bioidentical hormones to still get my cycle back? That's what she's asking. And the answer is yes. You just can't take very much hormone because there's a certain amount of exogenous hormone, hormone I'm taking from outside my body and putting inside my body, right? An amount of hormone that my body produces. So if I give my body 100 milligrams of progesterone, it isn't going to make its own. If I give my body over 50 to 70 milligrams of testosterone, it's not going to make its own. If I give my body too much estrogen, it'll probably shut off estrogen production. Or actually, it'll keep producing estrogen. That's Watson, my cat. Everybody say hi to Watson. He's trying to tell you all he's hungry. He's pissed I haven't fed him yet. Well, Jins was reach out, message me. We'll get you on a call. 12 weeks, you'll see. Hoping to become a client again. Always here. Hey, listen, let us know. We're here. We have multiple new levels of membership. And so love to see you. So when it comes to getting back your cycle, it is certainly okay to start with about 50 milligrams progesterone because 50 milligrams progesterone typically will not shut off your own progesterone production. So sometimes people need a little bit of extra hormone to help kickstart their natural cycle again, okay? So you can start with 50 milligrams of progesterone, or they might give you 3 to 5 milligrams of estradiol, probably 2 to 3 is usually where they'll start of injectable estradiol. That's possible too. Oftentimes we might do that, or you might give somebody a little bit. Are you a platinum member? You're dressing the part. Are you? No. But what I would suggest is that sometimes they might give a little bit of Clomid because it'll help you produce, some estrogen and testosterone. There's kisspeptin, which will help stimulate the pituitary to make more hormone. But yes, you can give a little bit of exogenous hormones, as long as it's a very small amount, and not shut off your own production to maybe get your cycle back from secondary amenorrhea. Anyway, listen, if you guys all love this content, by the way, listen, help me out. Support me. Share this live. How good was this live, y'all? Give it to me in the chat. Let me hear you, right? Share this live and tag me in it, and you will be entered to win the replay of all the amazing speakers and experts and coaches and entrepreneurs for the 3-day event. It's worth $200. I'm going to be giving it away for another lucky member. So share this and tag me in it, y'all. Okay? I appreciate you all. See you next Monday. Download the Vital app, y'all. Peace.